San Lorenzo Village. Less than a year ago, an idea. Already a name in which hundreds of homemakers are taking pride in calling their own.
To ensure that our children are sound of mind and body. Yes, we agree on principle. But picture in contrast these children living in apartments on crowded city streets. No place to play, no chance to make friends. Remember, childhood gets no second chance. One man remembered it and had the vision and means to do something about it. David D. Bohannon. Being a man of action as well as one of the nation's top builders, he bought 350 acres of land on the shore of San Francisco Bay. Here was to be built not just a lot of houses, but a community, an ideal environment in which to raise children and to enjoy life. To quote Mr. Bohannon, "We are building toward an ideal. We will create a community to provide the perfect environment for family life." And so they began with the land, fertile land near the city of San Leandro. It was a sunny, healthful spot. And they planned the houses carefully with scale models, for it was essential that the houses, later to become homes, should be attractive, livable, and still of sturdy construction. This was no fly-by-night project. The houses must be built for the future as well as the present. Then, the planning complete, they assembled the huge earth-moving equipment that was necessary to prepare the way for the tremendous task of building over 2,000 homes in a hurry. Everything was done on a tremendous scale, and machines were used wherever possible to speed up the operation. Pipe layers, and ditch diggers, and even a specially designed rotary diggers to make holes for the foundation blocks. Construction proceeded at astonishing speed, with houses appearing as though by magic. Here was mass production on the site at its best. And finally, suddenly, the community called San Lorenzo Village existed where there had been nothing. 2,000 homes. Homes to be lived in. Homes to take pride in. And all part of a community where parents and children alike can make friends. A modern community, architecturally good, and providing at its heart an integrated business area with complete facilities. A full-fledged United States Post Office. Variety stores. Wearing apparel shops. Hardware stores. And a huge supermarket all contribute to a community's self-sufficiency that marks the beginning of an era in which whole community units are built from the ground up, scientifically planned to provide the ideal environment for a fostering of the spirit of citizenship, of cooperation that was so typical of early American life, but that we have tended to forget in the rush of competitive living. For the pleasure of living, San Lorenzo Village has a modern, well-designed restaurant with banquet rooms, dining room, and a patio for outdoor dining and dancing. Then, there's a motion picture theater, designed especially for the number of theater goers that can be expected in a community the size of San Lorenzo. Here at their very doorstep, the people of San Lorenzo Village have the best in motion pictures. But it isn't just the business area that makes a community. It's the houses, the streets, and the people that use them. The San Lorenzo Village Homes Association provides street sweeping once a week for over 10 miles of paved streets. In San Lorenzo Village, each owner takes pride in the appearance of the piece of land and dwelling that is his and his alone. Each year, the Village Garden Club sponsors a contest open to everyone for the best, most carefully tended garden. Here, where the sun seems to shine all the time, nearly everyone enters the contest. For growing flowers like these is possible even for the beginner. And here a banner proclaims the first prize winner for 1947. No one would argue with the judges. Just look at those blooms. A friendly, competitive spirit develops over the flower show, too. Here are some examples of the prize winners. Now, what lies behind all this community activity? Unquestionably, the main spark is provided by the San Lorenzo Village Homes Association Board of Directors, a group of public-spirited citizens that direct all community activities. Here we see them in conference, planning the 1946 Christmas Festival. But as in every project in this model community, everyone cooperated. Other committees met to discuss the details too. There was the Garden Club, a group that was given the responsibility of decorating the village in the spirit of the season. Then there was the Christmas Festival Committee, dedicated to carrying through the Children's Festival in such a way that all the children in the village shared in the delights of the season. And finally, the Fire Department, commissioned to carry Santa Claus, and perhaps more important, to handle fire prevention and protection during the Christmas festivities. Everyone in San Lorenzo Village saw to it that homes were decorated in a manner befitting the festivities to come. And as Christmas Day approached, more and more of the daily activity was devoted to preparations, wrapping gifts, decorating, planning, and so on. Now in this, the people of San Lorenzo Village are no different from anyone else. But while all of this was going on, the planning for the festival was coming to its culmination. At last, the day arrived. The program was ready, the children were on tenterhooks, and the committees, who had worked long and hard to make the festival come up to the expectations of the children, heaved a collective sigh of relief. The third annual Children's Christmas Festival was underway. It began with a dance and party for the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. The children came, no question about that, and they danced. If the boys were a little bashful, what of it? It's dancing to music that's important. Here in a community that realizes the value of the social graces and the ability to get along with people, these children are getting the kind of start that children should have with others of their own age. And then there was mistletoe, with all that it implied. It's amazing how quickly the youngsters catch on. And since we live in the age that we do, there was jitterbugging, formal style. It obviously requires a certain amount of concentration. And there were Christmas carols, a traditional part of every Yuletide celebration. Yes, the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders of San Lorenzo Village really enjoyed the dance and party. And you may be sure they look forward to next year with a great deal of eager anticipation. Next on the program was the theater party for all grammar school children. It took place in the community center, given to the village by David D. Bohannon to encourage community life. The children lined up outside long before the show. They came in all shapes and sizes, all intent on getting a good seat for the movies and the vaudeville. And so when the door opened, in they came like a lot of eager puppies, some with their mothers, some with friends. It's a commentary on life in San Lorenzo Village that none came alone. These are healthy, normal children, and yet there is none of the roughhousing that is usually associated with groups of children this age. Why? Because they are socially adjusted. None feels the need to impress himself on others by display of physical superiority. Finally, they're all ready. And after the room is quiet, the movies start and are greeted with rapt attention, and finally with applause. Then the song and dance act, all local talent, of course. This cowboy now might someday be another Gene Autry. The other acts followed in short order, all ages, all types of costumes. The performers enjoyed it, the audience enjoyed it. These are polished song and dance artists with a deft